I will move it down to the question about why a neutral right now should consider the Lions for this team. I mean, we've all said a lot of times about why we're Detroit Lions fans on here. There's varied reasoning behind it, but I guess if we're all salesmen at this point and we're trying to pitch the Lions to someone as to why they should come and support us, I mean, what would you say to? I'll go around the room, Tom. What if you were convincing someone to support the Lions at the minute, or at least get interested in us? What would be the thought process behind that?
I think you want to be investing in a bunch of people that you want to support. So even ignoring the team, you want characters that you want to support. You want that running all the way through the organization. You want a young team. You want excitement. And the other thing is, you don't want to be choosing a team that has had loads of history and is on the way down. You don't want to be becoming a Liverpool fan in kind of 1995 and then sit and watch Man United beat you for 20 years. Because if you go and support the Packers, then sure, you might have a nice 2022, but you're going to have to deal with us burying you for the next 15 years. So don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. Just come support the Lions.
Ryan, if you were selling people on the fact to come and support the Detroit Lions now, what would you say to them? What would you use to put us up on a pedestal to be the team to support going forwards?
I'd say come support the Lions because everyone just writes us off. Like I say, everyone loves an underdog. Like I say, everyone questions why you like the Lions. Everyone asks us, like, you get pity, you get that sympathy, like, get people feeling sorry for you, like, because they just don't know anything about the Detroit Lions. All they see is wins and losses, and they think, Lions are crap, like, you shouldn't support them. But there's a much bigger picture than that. Like I say, you only have to look at last year. When you really break down how games went, how blood, sweat, and tears went into every play right up until that final play, and everything could have been on a dime. Last year could have gone so differently because everyone bought in, everyone put their bodies on the line. When the corpses started piling up and we were working our way down to cornerback 5 and 6, the play was just as good. Everyone bought that. Like I say, we're not a one-man team, we're not a two-man team. Like I say, we're not those guys that just go out there like 3 or 4 good guys and expect you to run over it. It's a proper collective. Everyone buys in. If someone goes down, next man up, and there's just a general togetherness, and that's with the fans as well. Like I say, it's been difficult, but you bond together. Like I say, you become a bit like a family. You're quick to defend each other as well. Like I say, if you go on social media, like I say, I often see people, like I say, Lions fans are really good to interact with because, like I say, they stick together, they stick up for one another, and they're fierce, but in a good way. Like I said, they will stick up for the Lions through thick and thin because they've been through thick and thin. And we're on the rise. Like I said, teams are on the decline. Like I said, the Vikings are in cap hell. They're basically giving $50 million to Kirk Cousins, who is good but not great and won't take them anywhere. In a few years, they're in the world of shit because they can barely afford the guys they've got now. Whereas we're about to just invest in young blood. Like I say, we've got guys on this defense from like 24 to 26, and that is across the board. So you're going to be able to grow up and grow old with these guys.
First of all, when you're picking your NFL team, you've got to pick your division, right? And you want to play in an absolute smash mouth, hardcore division. You don't want to be playing in one of these fancy pants, surf subdued West Coast divisions. You don't want to be playing in the AFC South and watching the Plastic Jags and the Texans, for all those games. You want to be playing in a hardcore, a real hell in a cell type division. So there's 2 spots for that. There's the AFC North, with like the Ravens and the Browns and Steelers and now the Bengals, or you've got the NFC North. But the NFC North, it's the old black and blue division. Like, it's got some of the fiercest geographical rivalry, and that's the division to be in. Nice cold weather division. And then you've got 4 teams. I mean, for me, when choosing a team, the number one thing is like, I've got like a no dickheads rule. And you just don't want to be in one of those teams where you've got a massive dickhead in your team. And that immediately rules out Green Bay. I mean, just, need I even say any more about that? You don't want to be playing for supporting a team with Kirk Cousins as your quarterback, building a little plexiglass enclosure for him in the locker room. You don't want any of that. Have you seen the Bears? You absolutely don't want to go anywhere near that franchise. So by a process of elimination, you've got the Lions, the coolest team. They've got the Honolulu blue and silver, an amazing city full of culture and heritage. Detroit is the place to be. It's on the up. Absolutely, this is the team of the future. Who would you want to support?
I think when you look at the variety of teams around the NFL, there's a lot of just nothing teams out there. Like, they're fine. And they come from a place that's all right. And there's nothing to them, really. You look at the bigger teams as well. You look at the New Yorks and the Californias, and it's like, they don't even care about their team, or they're fickle fans. And, I'm not all about that. The first thing to say about Detroit is the people that are there. I mean, actually being a fan of the city itself. Detroit, and Michigan in general, is full of some spectacularly good people. When I went there in November, I already knew that the reputation of those people was that they were genuine, hardworking, blue-collar, lovely people who wouldn't understand why I was there, but were welcome with open arms. And they went way beyond that. Just some really, really great people who cared deeply about their team. And that's why the last 50 years, 60 years, 70 years have been a problem for Lions fans, because they genuinely care. And it's nice to be part of a fan base that has that all in common. There's very few fickle Lions fans. There's some loud, same old Lions fans. Don't get me wrong, they are there. But the majority of the fan base is quite good, really, and they got good opinions, and it's fierce on Twitter sometimes, and not everyone agrees, but you don't have to agree to be damn good fans, so you got to start off there. But then you actually look at the Lions and where they are now. They are a team at their lowest ebb. I mean, when was the last time that we had 3 wins? And, I say that because obviously it's been recent, so we have a sustained period of bad times. And why would that be a selling point for this team? But the point is that there is a real upwards trend here. If you want to see a team that is entertaining to watch, come what may, this regime have it absolutely down. Win or lose, you're going to have fun watching this team. The head coach is absolutely electrifying. The general manager seems to knock it out the park every time he drafts. So whichever time of the year it is, you're going to be interested. But this year, they're going to pull off something spectacular, and it's going to be really, really fun to watch. And then when they're against big teams and you think, they've got no chance in doing this, they're going to try and pull out the spectacular to try and do it. So just for this season alone, they're going to be really entertaining, and you're going to have more exposure to this team than any other. But when it comes to a long-term sustained thing, this team is set up right for future success, and they have the tools and the capability to do it. If you want to follow a team from the bottom to the top, because you feel like you earn your fandom, you earn the right to be happy. You don't just go and support Tampa Bay, you don't just go and support the New England Patriots because you're going to win every year, and then that's boring. I mean, Tom Brady left New England and they lost loads of fans because it's boring to win every year. If you do that and you come in the middle of it, you expect to win, and when you don't, it's like, oh, is this what it's like for everyone else? We are at the lowest point of it. Do you know how sweet it is going to be when we win? That's the biggest selling point for me. When we win, there will be absolute mayhem in the streets. I'm going to be in Detroit being one of the first people there when we do it, and it's going to be absolutely spectacular.
For me, the biggest selling point for it is the community. And I know it's been mentioned a bit already, but when you're part of a sporting franchise, I think what takes it from a passing interest into a serious, sort of sporting vestige, as it were, is the community. You want to feel part of the team. You want to feel part of the fan base community, and that's why I've always said, when I've always been asked the question, why the Lions, the affinity that I have, the similarities I see with my own football team here. We play in the 5th division of English football. We're not even a professional team at the minute, technically, but you don't see the flashy players, you don't see the World Cup winners, you don't see the Premier League players, but what you do, you see a bunch of guys who work their ass off on the field, they do other jobs while they're out there, but they're committed, they're dedicated. And the community is made up of loyal people who love the game. It's nothing to do with trophies and silverware. It's to do with the love of the sport and the game and how they embrace you and take you in. I started going to matches on my own when I was younger, and I've made so many friends over the years just because people, you know, the community is so welcoming and friendly. And with the Lions, you saw the similarities, and look what the Lions fan base has done for us. I mean, we're just a bunch of guys over here in the UK who talk a little bit about the Detroit Lions. We got 7 or 8 listens when we first started doing this, and most of them were us going back to listen to the damn thing. You know, just the generosity of a few people along the way. It started off with people like Rebecca, who came on and did some of the shows with us when we watched the games, and then Luke G when he took us on his channel and gave us exposure, and Micro Mike and all these guys. We've been welcomed into this family by those over there in America. You know, we've been listened to, what, 25,000 I think we broke today on audio listens for the first time. People want to listen to us, and you know, they accept us. They've embraced us as their own, despite the fact we're across the ocean, and they have absolutely no business listening to us and doing that. And if you really want a sporting experience where you can go and really truly enjoy it down on every level, we're the team to do that, because they have the fan base who will do that. If you show yourself as dedicated to the Lions, they will embrace you and accept you. And that's what makes the day. That's why I love doing these pods and having everyone who comes on the show with us on Twitch, on YouTube, whether they're commenting late or whatever. You know, it's just amazing how we've been embraced by it all. So, you know, that's my selling point for them. It is the community, and for me that is the one massive thing here. Even when the team's bad, you know the community will rally round together and support one another. You'll not just lose faith just because you have a few seasons without a Super Bowl. It won't just all go to hell and people will argue with one another and they'll not get on, etc. You don't get that here. It's always one pride, and it's not just a moniker, it's a way of life. So that for me is what it's all about.